Hey guys, Tatiana Ward here with BeatFaceHoney.com. Thank you so much for joining me. While I was in LA a couple weeks ago for IMATS, I went to the Sigma booth and met a lovely lady who introduced herself and said that she would love to send me some products, and I was super excited about that. About a week later, she sent in the mail this beautiful leather-bound kit. And you can see that it's engraved right there. It says Sigma. And a lot of you are maybe unfamiliar with Sigma. Sigma is a company that's been around for probably a few years now, and they've gained their popularity primarily off of YouTube. There are several different reviews on their makeup as well as brushes on the internet. And that's another reason why I really didn't do any reviews on their products in particular, is because there's so many of them. And because YouTube is so flooded with reviews, I really didn't feel as though I needed to. But the fact of the matter is, I have been using Sigma's brushes since the beginning of my YouTube career. The set that was sent to me is a set called the Make Me Classy. It comes in this cute little box, which it's funny because I initially bought my Sigma brushes about a year and a half ago, and they have come a long way, I guess, since then. This packaging is pretty cute and fancy, and back when I was buying Sigma's brushes, they were coming in like little drawstring bags, and still the presentation even then was nice. But now, you know, to see them, I guess they're thriving, which is really cool because I think that they have a really good product. So again, this brush set is called the Make Me Classy. In the box, when you purchase this set, it comes with a pamphlet that lets you know the usage of all of the brushes that are inside the actual container, which is great for beginners. Also, it comes with instructions on how to clean your brushes. And now to look inside and see what we have here. Now, initially, all of these brushes that were inside this container were wrapped in plastic. However, I took them off. But I did keep, the bigger ones had these shields on them. And I believe they're meant to be thrown away, but I would keep them because this case has to go over these brushes, and these shields will keep the hair from being pulled down on the bigger ones. The smaller ones you don't really have to worry about. So what we have here is a huge powder brush. This is the kind of brush that you use for loose powders, like setting powders, translucent powders that you might want to put all over your face. And in my experience, Sigma's brushes are always super soft. This is my honest opinion, and you know, I really don't want you guys to think that I would tell you some crazy story or lie, which, yes, I am saying that I did get these products for free, but I'm also telling you that I've spent upwards of $200 on products long before I ever got these products for free. And in my IMATS video, I was telling you guys that I really wanted to go and get more brushes from Sigma. That meant I was willing to go and pay for more of their product. So I hope that you can find the truth in what I'm saying, because I wouldn't tell you something that was crappy. I just wouldn't do it. And you wouldn't see me using them. So this powder brush is soft, and it's going to be my first powder brush because I had a ton of them. I didn't really need any. But I'll have to let you know the progress and how I make out with these brushes, the particular ones that I haven't had before. And we'll see. But I have MAC powder brushes, and if it's anything like the other brushes that I have from Sigma already, it's not going to shed. Any brush you get will shed a little bit, but it's not supposed to leave just brush or bristles on your face. That's just crazy. So I'll have to get back to you on this one in particular, but it is really, really soft. Another one. This is the Sigma Large Angled Contour. And I love this because they have put the actual name of the brush on the handle. And I think that's phenomenal. Again, for you beginners who may not know exactly what that brush is for. So this is meant to contour, which is that dark powder that you put right in here, which is to like slim your face or make a more structured looking defined face. I, however, don't like to use this for a contour. In fact, I have my old trusty, look, you can see it's so old that it's worn. But the brush that you guys have seen me use to contour from the beginning was in fact a Sigma brush. And this is a rounded dome brush. These kinds of brushes, however, I do have several from MAC. Again, this one's way softer than even my MAC brush. And that's the whole point of Sigma. That is what they offer. They offer a similar quality product for a whole lot less of the cost of a MAC brush. And I'm here to tell you that it truly is very similar in quality, if not equal, completely equal, and a whole lot less. So this particular angled brush I like to use for my highlighting powders. I'll use something like this for, say, a bronzing powder or a highlight powder just to put right on the ball of my cheeks. It is tapered and angled, so you can also use it down your nose for your highlight. And this will be my first brush from Sigma of this actual kind of brush. This is my MAC. And you can see this one's kind of more dense too. This one's dirty, sorry. But I'll have to let you know how I like that. A foundation brush, which this is also my first foundation brush from Sigma. This is my MAC brush, and you see they're very similar. I also have one from Clinique. Same looks to it. I don't really use foundation brushes that much. I use sponges mostly on people because I'm going through them so quickly, and but I will occasionally use this kind of a foundation brush for liquid foundations. And also if I'm mixing my Studio Tech with lotion, this is a great brush to use also as a mixer and to apply. And you see right there it says foundation. Now here is a brush that I do have from Sigma already. And I guess that I just have a smaller version of it. These I use for cream blushes, which I don't really use that often, but occasionally. It is a synthetic hair mixed into a real hair. And you can also use this for buffing in a foundation, particularly liquid foundation. Again, I don't really use these, but I'll take any brush. They're great to have because you never know when you are going to use them. The smaller one of this, however, I do use for a cream blush if I'm going to use a cream blush. So that is the Sigma Duo Fiber. And the smaller one that I have, also you can see these are my old Sigma brushes. Again, they're like 1.5 years old, and they've slightly changed the way that they do it. Before it was just the state, I believe that it was, or the country that it was made in, the number, and obviously the brand being Sigma. Now you have the name, brand Sigma, the actual name of the brush and the number you can identify that by, as well as the country that that brush was made in. However, also, just like a MAC brush, all real MAC brushes are engraved with the country that they're made in. And I believe MAC brushes can come from Paris, the USA, and China. And you will see that on all of your MAC brushes. And Sigma has adapted that same concept where they, I don't know if you can see that, but they have engraved on the back of their brush. I don't know what PRC is. Does that make me dumb? Does it stand for Puerto Rico? Come on. I don't know what that stands for. All right, and this is a brush that you guys have seen me use more than a bajillion times. This is the tapered brush. My absolute favorite for every single time that you've seen me apply my translucent powder under my eye to set my concealer. This is the brush that you've seen me use. These are my old ones. You can see that they are so beat up and worn down from me using them. And I'm so thrilled to have another one because I use these daily a whole lot. Also, they can be used for just blending an overall look. So suppose I put down several different shadows on my eyes, I can take this and just blend them all out. It's also good for when you put down glitter, just to dust away, because the hair isn't clung together, the hairs are sparse, therefore it's kind of like a duster. Another brush that you've seen me use a ton of times, the eye shading brush. These are my old ones that you've seen me use 100 times. This bottom one barely even has a name left on it because I've used it so much. This is great for putting down your highlight, which is the lightest part of your eyeshadow right in here. Also for packing on your eyeshadow right here in your lid. And then for like the light brown that you see me having right here, you could use your shader brush. Put that in. And my pencil brushes. I love my pencil brushes. This is what's called a pencil brush. And this is the head of it. It's very small, very tapered. And the purpose of that is to get right into your crease, right here. So that small area where you need to be very precise, because you don't want a thick or bushy brush that's going to spread the color up here because you're trying to keep it right in this area. This is what you would use this for. I really want you guys to see that I have these brushes and how beat up they are because I've used them so much, but they're still good. I've used them for 1.5 years, and you have to understand, these are my old ones. I use my brushes far more than the average person uses theirs. I would say that doing the freelance that I do, I probably do approximately 30 to 40 faces in a week. And if these brushes were no good, I wouldn't have them anymore. They'd have fallen apart. And I've never had to glue one back together. Trust me, I've had to glue a brush or two in my day, okay? I've had to glue the metal back to the handle. I've never had to glue a Sigma brush before. They've been nothing but good to me. And my MAC brushes are also great, but they're very expensive. They're very expensive. And Sigma has come up with a phenomenal product that is comparable to MAC's product. And I encourage you guys to do some more of your research. I hope that you take my word for it. But there's plenty of other people out here who are doing reviews, and take their word for it if you will. I hear people saying negative things about Sigma, and I don't understand why. I did work for MAC for a time, and their brushes are great, but they're too expensive. And unless you're just going for the name, then you'd be better off saving your money and using a phenomenal product like Sigma has here. So here is the medium angled shading brush, and it is just what it sounds like. It is tiny and it is angled. And I like to use this for glitter sometimes. When I'm going right in here, this is the perfect brush. Or also for my contour right in here, I'll use this because it's tapered. I could just take that right up into my brow. This is a large shader, and this can be used for concealer. I'll use this for concealer. You guys know that I really like to use my fingers for concealer, so I don't really find too many uses with a brush like this. However, it is great for pigments when you're wetting your pigments and you need to pack that on to your lid. Something that's wet, this is a great brush for. This tiny concealer brush I will use. For people that have very deep set eyes, I still use my fingers to apply their concealer in here, but sometimes because their eyes are so deep and set back, I want to bring light into the inner corners of their eyes. So I'll take a concealer brush like this. By the way, this is just called the concealer brush. And I'll dip that into some concealer and get right into those inner corners of the eye right there. This is an eyeliner brush. phenomenal for gel liners and also liquid liners. However, I'll also use it for lining a lip. And that was a synthetic haired brush. Synthetic meaning fake or plasticky type of hair. This is one of my favorite brushes. This is the small angled brush. This is a great brush. I have had this one before. This I've used so much that it's beat up, it's chipping. Sigma came right in time for this one because I use this so much it's dusty. But the label's even worn off of it because I use it so much. However, this is great. It's not quite angled enough for you to do gel liner with because you guys know that I like to use a really angled brush to do gel liner. But what it is good for is glitter right under here if you're trying to make a straight line with your glitter, or also for shaping of the eyebrows. That's mainly what I use it for. If you dip this brush into concealer and outline your brow, it makes for a much more shapely and defined brow. And that's really what I use this for. And that was it for that. Okay, and then how cool. They just all sit in this little thing. So this is a wonderful starter kit. If you are trying to learn your brushes and get a better sense for what you can do with your brushes and get a group of them all at once without paying a whole lot of money, this is really wonderful. And I'm so pleased that Sigma came along and made it easier for you to buy brushes, quality brushes, in one setting without spending hundreds of dollars. So for 12 brushes and this leather-bound case, Sigma is asking $99. That is, I mean, you just can't beat that. And considering also that these big brushes are in here and the foundation brush, if you were to buy these 4 brushes at MAC, it would be well over $100. Well over $100. So, and that doesn't even come with a case. Yeah, some other brushes that I use from Sigma that you guys have seen me use. I may not have told you that they were Sigma, but they were. This is my blush brush. That's all beat up. My large contour brush. And I love this little guy. I'll use this for blending large areas. I get so excited still when I use this. I don't know why. This brush excites me. Just to blend everything all together. It's a great one. Another concealer brush. This one and this one are the 2 concealer brushes that if I'm going to use a concealer brush, I'm going to use. This one is great for just patting. This one, again, a concealer brush. This I will use if I've already put on somebody's concealer and then something happened, there was fallout that fell out or whatever. I'll use this one to dust over that area. Instead of using my finger to get that initial like blunt color, I'll just use this as a concealer duster oner. I've showed you my Make Me Classy kit, and thanks so much to Sigma for sending this to me free of charge because I really have supported your products, and it was nice to get that back. And I hope that you guys will consider Sigma if you're looking to purchase brushes. I'm glad that I got to show you these new ones that I got, and I'm glad that I also got to show you that I have been purchasing their products for a long time, and that they stand the test of time, which is washing constantly, using them again. Just imagine how many faces I do in a week. And if you are just using them for yourself, you won't have to buy brushes again for years and years and years. So I thank you guys so much for watching. If you have questions, I'd love to answer them. Particularly in this video, I do intend to respond back to a lot of your questions that you may have down below. There's going to be a link right in this video. It'll probably be here the whole video. But yeah, also you can check me out on Twitter and ask all of your questions there. I would love to answer them. So I thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks again to Sigma Cosmetics, and I will see you guys right back here. Thanks. Bye. Oh yeah, there is going to be a tutorial for this look. So stay tuned to see that one. Thanks. Bye.